Hi guys, I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, but I've been doing some Seesaw trainings, and one of the coolest things that they've been adding is the ability to embed links and create choice boards in your Seesaw activities. So for this one, I'm showing you how you can incorporate reading an article for students and then having them engage in one of the strategies that we would like to use in our classrooms typically. So as you can see, I've already gotten all of my text boxes created just by clicking the the label tool, and creating that there. So the next step would be creating a link for each of these activities. So for me, I really wanted them to read this Time for Kids article, and I've already had it saved previously in my Google Drive account as a PDF. So I would go here to the text box. And here they've added this button here of a link. This would allow for that text box to be directly into a link. So I click here. And as you can see, I've already taken my Time for Kids article from my Google Drive. And I would do share. And here I would have it to be anyone on the internet can view this link, can view it. So I would hit copy link, going back to Seesaw. And I would then put it here. So now when my students click on this link, they would have access to that PDF document that I would like for them to read. Real quick, I'll show you. This would also allow for, if you have students with printers, to print out the article if that is something that is easier for them to do. But it will allow for them to access this on their iPad and their computers. Then the next activity I really wanted my students to do was to think about what they read. So I created here, I went to add page, and I took one of the visible thinking strategies that I wanted to use of 4 C's. And I would like for my students to think about the connections, ideas that they challenged or want to argue with in the text, some things that made them change their thinking, and some key ideas that they thought was important. And here I already did a screenshot of the activity that I've already written up and then put it here, giving students the ability to use the label tool to write on it. Instead of having students try to go back and forth onto the many different pages, I went over here and I created a link where it says think. And here it gives you the ability to either do a website URL like we did here with the read, but because I created the second page, I can link it to a new page. So whenever a student clicks on the link for think, it takes them to the page I wanted them to do. And then last but not least, I wanted my students to do the jot, where they were sharing their ideas with each other. Another tool I've really been starting to use a lot this summer is Jamboard. It's like doing a carousel. If you were doing the Roman carousel in your classroom, students will click here onto the Post-it and they can type up their reactions. The article made me think about how we do online learning in our schools. Students can opt to do different colors. If you wanted each of the different C's to be a different color, then they could do it that way. It does have a word limit, so it is good for very quick responses and reactions. And it would post there, and then if they needed to write more, they could continue. I'll do another video about Jamboard, but for right now, I'm going to go back to our choice board. So in order for me to have students have the access to this, I needed to go just like I did for the PDF. I would go share, anyone with the link, copy link, go back here, and I would hit my 3 dots, link, and copy and paste it there. If you had younger students or students who had difficulty with reading, you can link them also to images. So for instance, if I wanted to do the read article here, I can get this link real quick. Again, just like how I did earlier, I'm going to copy the link. And I'm going to click here on the image itself. I'm going to go to the three dots. And I can also insert a link there. So if you have students who really rely on photos instead, that would be another great option. And then also for the Jot. Hopefully this is a cool way for you to think about how to do activity boards in your classroom and really streamlining how we use the pages in our activities, and also making sure that we aren't having to post links each and every time onto the journal pages where they can get lost. I will create another video soon about how you can embed video into your activity boards, and also how you can create choice boards for your students.